In today's video, I found the brand new FNAF Jazwares plushies, and I'm going to be reviewing them so you guys can decide if they're worth it to buy or not. I think they are, but what do you guys think? Let me know at the end of the video once you've seen the full review. Let's get right into it. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Today we got a very special video because I have a full set of FNAF Jazwares plushies. Not only do I have the full set, but I also have the Hot Topic exclusive Nightmarionne plush that I will be reviewing at the end because this one is way too cool to review at the beginning. But I have these guys. There's 5 in the set. No Golden Freddy, which is weird, but I have Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, the puppet, and Foxy, all here to review for you guys today. But before we get into it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 70,000 subs, so if we could do that by the end of the year, that would be amazing. But without further ado, let's get into reviewing Freddy Fazbear. So here we got Freddy, and what you will notice about all these guys is that they are extremely soft, like really soft. The minky that this company uses, Jazwares, is more of a long-haired minky and makes them like super soft, and you can definitely tell when it's like flipped up or flipped down. Like you can tell there's different shades, but it looks very nice, super nice to handle. You know, they're nice and squishy, which is really good. What I like about this guy is that the embroidery looks really solid. There's no hard plastic pieces, which I think is better for a plush. The nose is just a little like minky, like fabric stuffed nose, which I think is really nice. The bow tie and hat material is this kind of like shiny material, which I think is really cool. It gives it like that extra texture. It's like a vinyl. I don't really know what to call it. And this hat doesn't look like it's gonna fray over time. I mean, it might, but I mean, time will tell. I think it just looks really nice. I think this guy's pattern is really nice. The only thing I complain about these guys is that they don't really have necks. The Funko guys have necks, and that you can kind of tell like the separation between the body and the head. This one kind of just looks like the neck isn't really there, and for this guy it's actually not as apparent, but you'll see it on the other ones. And this one isn't fat either, but on other ones you will tell that they do look kind of chubby and funky. But honestly, I really like them. They look super cool, and I highly recommend these guys. Honestly, I think they look super awesome. But let's move on to Bonnie. So here we got Bonnie, and I recently got this guy. I got him literally yesterday at a GameStop. They started appearing at GameStops, but before they were only in Hot Topics and box lunches. So I would highly recommend checking out GameStops and Targets and other places because they're starting to pop up there now. But Bonnie, this guy specifically, I don't know if I got a bad one, but you can kind of tell he's kind of fat and a little chunky. He looks really nice. Same material as Freddy, same embroidery, same nose thing, no hard things. Of course, you don't have the little dots on the muzzle because he doesn't have that. His ears are really nice. It's like the in-game plush where one is bent, and I think it's a really nice detail, and one's kind of straight up, even though mine's also kind of crooked. But that's just because he was squished under a bunch of other characters. The bow tie is a different material. It's more like a felt sort of material, but I think it still looks very nice. And Bonnie is honestly super cute. I really like him a lot, and this one was probably the one I was looking forward to the most because Bonnie is my favorite of the originals. So yeah, I think this guy is a solid 10 out of 10 along with the other ones. But let's move on to Chica the chicken. So here we got Chica the chicken and Carl the cupcake, who looks adorable. I'm so glad they included him. He looks awesome. The same material as the other ones, but here we got Chica. We got the beak, the bib. I think Chica looks amazing and is miles better than whatever Funko did back in, what was it, 2015. This Chica is just 100 times better, and if you guys are gonna get a Chica plush, get this one. It's just so much better. You got the little hair tufts, also made out of the same minky instead of like a weird hard felt material like Funko did. The eyes are embroidered and it looks really nice. She has the little nostrils, which the Funko one does not have. The bib looks super awesome. The only thing is I wish it was pulled down a little more. I wish they give it a little more space so then the letters weren't like cut off like that. But you know what? It might just be mine. She has got the little belly separation, which is interesting because Funko's does not have that. She also has all yellow legs instead of like yellow and orange. Which I mean, it's more accurate to the in-game plush, which I can appreciate. She's also got the little bib flap on the back, which I think looks really nice, and it adds more detail. This guy, he looks awesome. He is attached by a little bit of thread. So you guys can definitely cut it off if you just want the cupcake, which I actually might do. But Chica looks awesome. I love her so much. She's probably one of the best ones in this whole wave. But let's move on to Foxy. Fourth up on our list, we got Foxy the pirate, and this one is, I don't know guys, I'm gonna have to criticize this guy a lot. I feel like the muzzle is way too fat. It's way too big for this guy's face. It looks like he got stung by a bee in the mouth. He looks like those dogs that get stung by bees. And I also don't like how this eye is cut off, like right here. I know it's cut off a little with other characters as well, like let me get Freddy. It's cut off a little bit, but it's only slightly to where it's like it's understandable. But this one, I feel like the muzzle's too big, and I don't know. And I feel like the eye patch shouldn't be cut off too. I mean, I think it should be a 3D piece like Funko did, to be honest. But I think they did great. Nonetheless, the fabric is super soft. He just looks a little fat and chubby from some sides because of the muzzle. But I don't mind it. The tufts are a little just two flaps, you know. Nothing special, nothing crazy. It's not like Funko's where it's like a whole molded piece into the pattern, you know, where it's like 3D. This one's just kind of like a flat little piece, which, you know, is neither here nor there. The ears are also really good. Mine just keep flapping down, but I think, oh, there we go. I fixed it a little bit. But yeah, you can definitely tell that he looks a lot fatter than the other ones. He's also really squishy, which I like. I like how squishy these guys are. And something I failed to mention with all of them is that they have beans on the bottom. I don't know if you can hear them, but they have beans so then they can sit nicely. And I think Foxy is good, but it could have been better. So not my favorite, but a really good addition nonetheless. So here we have the puppet, and honestly, I don't really like this guy. Exhibit A, look at how fat he looks. The puppet is supposed to be a skinny character, and I don't know, I think I get what they were trying to go for, and honestly Nightmarionne did it a lot better than this guy right here. But I feel like the eyes are way too small on this one. The cheeks are also a little too small. I don't know. The puppet isn't my favorite, I'm not gonna lie guys, but what I can say I like about this is that the embroidery looks great. The stripes are not embroidered, but they're sewn into the pattern, which is also really cool. Same thing for the legs. I think this guy looks awesome, except for the eyes, like the face and the overall body shape. Again, that might just be mine, but he looks like he's like facing upward, and his back is just a little fat. He's like a little lump of fabric, you know. I don't know. I like this guy, but at the same time he's got a lot of issues. So if I have to put them in like a tier list, he would definitely go under Foxy. But no one's ever coming under this guy, you know. I think this is the worst one of the whole wave, but it's still pretty good. I mean, some people might like it. I think Funko's it might be a little better just because of like the face and whatever, and like the body type. But of course, I like that this one did a fabric mask instead of that weird vinyl thing that Funko did. But yeah, the puppet, not great, but not bad at all. I like this one, but you know, has my issues. But let's move on to the best character of this whole wave, Nightmarionne. So last but not least, we have Nightmarionne, whatever you want to call it, Nightmare Puppet. We got the first ever Nightmare Puppet plush ever, and I can't believe Jazwares did this. I didn't even know they were gonna do this until like very towards the end of their like marketing, whatever. He was like kind of like a surprise, but I think he looks awesome. The mouth looks great. The little teeth are embroidered amazingly. This guy doesn't have the same issue as the other puppet. He looks like he's facing forward. He's not too fat. And I think he honestly fits in very well with the other Funkos, because I am going to be using this with the Funko plushies. So yeah, I don't really know guys. They also have embroidery for the ribs, which I think looks really nice. It's kind of hard to see, but once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. So, which is really good. You want a detail like that on a plush. The legs are all black, you know, makes sense, and the stripes are also sewn into the pattern just like the puppet. But I think this guy looks awesome. He looks amazing, and let me bring them all together to notice some overall things about these guys that I think make them even better. So now that we got them all lined up right here, I have to mention something. These guys' eyes actually glow in the dark. If you can tell by the box art, they do glow, and I didn't know this until I brought them home, and then I literally left them on my desk with a little lamp on, and then I turned off that lamp and their eyes started glowing. I'll put a picture right up here of Chica and Freddy, which I think is super funny. Puppet's eyes don't glow, obviously, because he has like just empty holes, and Nightmarionne's glow, but very faintly. They're just two little dots, but you guys can really tell when it's Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and Bonnie, as well as the Cupcake. The Cupcake's eyes also glow. But overall, I think these guys look great. I highly recommend them to anyone who loves FNAF and loves the original characters. I think these guys are a lot more accurate to the game plushies than Funkos were, and I think these guys are a lot higher quality. I have my problems with them, but I really like them, and I highly recommend collecting them. They're about $13, about $13-14 at Targets and GameStops, but for some reason at Hot Topics and Box Lunches they were $25, which is crazy. I bought Chica, Freddy, Nightmarionne, and Puppet all for $25 each, so that hurt my bank account. And Foxy and Bonnie were just $13 each, so I mean that was a little better. But these guys are great. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I want to see you guys collect them all because I think they're super worth it. Let me know who you guys are missing and who you guys have found in stores, and maybe people in the comment section can learn from where you guys found your plushies and find their own. So that's awesome, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.